Modern Vintage Radio.
Welcome to the Podcast Planner podcast. This show is about podcasting with a content creation focus because content matters. Finding ways to make it easy on us is also important. I'm Addie Saucedo, and in this episode, I'm going to discuss podcast success. We all want to get there. After that, I'll go over what you can expect from this show, as this is the first episode. But before we dive into that, this episode is brought to you by the Podcast Planner, a physical planner that helps podcasters create their content with recording templates, checklists, brainstorming exercises, and more. Grab your planner today at thepodcastplanner.com. Now, let me address that the word success is absolutely subjective. For this reason, let's switch it with a word that we can relate to, which is happiness. Podcasting happiness or success can look like paid sponsors, a large audience, a lot of download numbers, a raving following, high conversion rates of listeners into paying customers, being excited to record rather than feeling like it's a chore or an obligation. Or maybe it's a combination of all of the above. After working and studying in the podcasting space for 5 years, I have found that successful podcasters of all types have key commonalities. They consistently plan, record, publish, and engage. That is true podcasting happiness. This is why I created the Podcast Planner. It has been designed to help us with these 5 elements so that we can achieve and amplify our podcasting happiness. Wait, 5 elements you say? If you counted 4, plan, record, publish, and engage, it's important to know that consistency is the foundation of all 4. So 5 elements. And guess what? I'll be using this podcast to explore and share these 5 elements with you. Now, what can you expect from this show? Every show has their own publishing frequency, the popular choice being weekly. This show will be weekly as long as there is a series going on. For example, the first series of this show will be Podcasting Happiness. I'll dive into the topics that I just mentioned: planning, recording, publishing, engaging, consistency. Once this series is complete, I'll move the show into a different series that is still relatable to podcast planning and content creation. If you're wondering if there will be gaps between the series, well, maybe, but it'd be along the lines of 2-week breaks or something like that. So make sure you're subscribed to the show. There's a lot coming in the following episodes to help you with your podcast content. You see, this is the beauty of podcasting. It's your show. You can publish the way that works best for you and your goals. All right, on the next episode, I'll be sharing how planning contributes to your podcasting happiness and how to do it in a strategic way for the longevity of your podcast. Thank you for listening to the Podcast Planner podcast. This show was written and produced by Addie Saucedo. That's me. For more episodes, freebies, t-shirts, and information, please go to our website, thepodcastplanner.com. If you like the show, please tell anyone you can, any way that you can. You can follow us on social media. Just search Podcast Planner. I prefer Twitter and Instagram. Since the show comes in series, you should subscribe to the show to make sure that you get all the episodes. Our supporters are Podfest, Spreaker, Podbean, Team Podcast, Podcaster Society, and Podomatic. Until next time, plan, record, and share your voice with the world.